Grand Rising, Grand Afternoon. Dr. Botanica coming at you again with another informative health and wellness video, conscious video. And what you see in front of me or above me here is the famous black walnut tree. And fortunate enough to grow up in this house that has this huge walnut tree. And for those of you who appreciate and understand the benefits of the Black Walnut Hull, certainly can appreciate this video. For those of you who are informed on the benefits of that, know that it is very effective in removing parasites and cleansing the blood, along with a wide variety of medicinal benefits from the Black Walnut Hull. And it can incorporate cloves or wormwood, a couple other things with it. But I've been making the black walnut tinctures extract for a while. So I'm going to be gathering the remainder of what you see here on the tree as they fall, or some that are in my reach, to grab some as much as I can to make as many tinctures as I can in some mason glass containers. And so sometimes I give it away, sometimes people want to buy a quart or whatever. But also, disclaimer, this video is certainly not produced to make any claims, medicinal claims, or to be used as therapy. I'm not a medical doctor. I am a health practitioner degreed in Oriental medicine, PhD in nutritional science, metabolic therapy. For those of you who know my background, I've been studying since I was at the age of 9, was highly endorsed by Dick Gregory as one of the greatest minds because I put work in and have been in a very interesting circle of intrigue of pioneers. So a lot of my knowledge is credited through the pioneers. I just didn't come out the woodwork saying I'm self-studied and I know this and know that. No, I've been one that has been fortunate enough to be in the circle of a very interesting intrigue of pioneers. And I also have been well-traveled nationally and internationally. And again, being fortunate enough to sit next to some of the great pioneers, Matthias Rath, Dr. Samuel Epstein, who wrote many books, Earl Mandel, many other pioneers, the Weston Price Foundation, Charlotte Gerson. For those of you who are familiar with the Gerson therapy, had training with that and has some very successful case studies. But again, for entertainment and educational purposes only. But let's talk about the walnut tree. As you see here is a few stories high, and you still see some there. And you see the squirrel is gone to also benefit from the nutritional value in this tree and the fruit that it bears. And as you see here, grab a couple of tomatoes from my garden still. Instead of paying $2.69 a pound for the organic, you can grow your own, as I've always advocated. And you see some of the black walnuts that I gathered from the ground. I try to get the ones that are green and not yellow, that are completely ripe. As you hear some still dropping, gonna grab a good quality 80 proof vodka. And when you use 1 part of vodka, 1 part of either distilled or quality water, and put in a good jar, like a mason jar, and you pretty much shake it up periodically. I'll show you the ones that I did make for about 4 to 6 weeks, and to maximize its potential. And as you can see here, here's a few jars that I've already created. I've made, close to a dozen so far. Gave some away. And just like this, it's you can see it here. It's kind of in the shade, but see the black walnut, and you just shake it up periodically to activate the compounds. As you see here, I'm going to strain this and put it in the 2-ounce bottles, you know. But it's these are the ones that have been in storage about 9 weeks now, going on 9 weeks. So it's good to go. You keep them stored in a cool, dry, dark place while it is saturating and extracting the important compounds out of the black walnut hull. As you see, what was my garden, it's basically picked up the peppers and the lettuce, and you still see the tomatoes that had fallen. But I'm going to dig all this stuff up and prepare for the winter crop, and also have some buckets to do potatoes and grow and have some potatoes. You know, and you see here, there's some of the actual green leaf lettuce that's regrowing. Surprised at that. And as you can see here, 2 huge poke salad vines. And you can see the berries here that also have medicinal properties, very similar to elderberry. But as you know, poke salad is to be eaten at a certain time of the year. Very, very valuable as far as stimulating the immune response. You know, you can actually put this in eggs and salad. My mom, rest in peace, was a scholar in gardening, medicine. When I grew up, didn't have to rush to the hospital. I was diabetic when I was very small, but never been on medication because my mom always knew, how to balance out my diet. So I eventually grew out of it. As you see here, they're still falling. But yeah, also want to get into sharing the definition of health. And what is health? Well, health is freedom from disease. Okay, and people are diseased today in many ways. There's different levels of disease, different types of disease. There's spiritual disease, physical disease, mental disease, blood diseases. You have all these different diseases that have been proliferated by levels of stress, of course, food toxicity, and the lack for knowledge. And people, they get into being mesmerized by mass media, and you're getting a lot of misinformation out there on things. And again, this is why the people in this Amexim are pretty much behind the 8 ball because of a lack of knowledge. And I'll be doing a piece in a booklet called How to Take Care Before Urgent Care, or How to Take Care because urgent care may not be there. And you certainly need to know how to take care of yourself and your family. It's obvious that we're in the end game on all levels, and nobody's really going to escape what this country is about to go through, and because of the disobedience. And disobedience is the underlying cause of disease. It's the underlying cause of a fallen government. It's the underlying cause of a broken family. Disobedience in some way or another, and the lack for and the lack of knowledge. So what I do as a health practitioner and as a bona fide researcher is attempt to share different levels of intrigue. And I don't have all the answers. That's why I continue to walk around and live with my cup half full, because there's a plethora of knowledge in the universe, and we only have a very, very small amount of that universal knowledge. So for those who follow these so-called fake gurus, have never really paid their dues, they just come out of the woodwork uh, and make these claims. They're doing their own product, and I always ask people, challenge them. Say, if your product is so phenomenal, why aren't distributorships and other health practitioners carrying your product? And I can understand, like, if I'm making this is for my home use or somebody personal, but I'm not going to really market this as the panacea. Just like people were out there making claims on black seed, which has some medicinal effects. Were making claims on sea moss, which sea moss is certainly rich in minerals, but it's not a panacea. I know people that do sea moss and black seed and still have health problems. I know vegans. I've known 4 women that were vegan for 20 years, and 3 died of breast cancer, and they were vegan for 20 years. So health and wellness is about balance. This is what I wrote the book, Stealing a Woman's Treasure. I asked the question, why don't you see Asian women in the revolving door of OBGYN's office for fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, or PMS? Because they eat, as you know, they eat some of everything, but they eat with the balance. And you don't see them with fibroids or other chronic and degenerative disease like you see the Asiatic women or the European hybrid women with the conditions of fibroids and other chronic diseases, autoimmune disease, heart disease, because they eat with balance. And but I'm creating this system, this book called How to Take Care, because urgent care may not be there. You can also visit my website at Doc Botanica, www.doc. You'll see it at the bottom, botanica.com. Very informative, informational website. And you can also reach me via email at docbotanica@protonmail.com, which will also be at the bottom. You can also subscribe or kick in a like if you like. But I'm also known for the book under my former nom de guerre, the book Medicine, which came to me in my dream in December of 2004. Published in 2005, was endorsed through me by Dick Gregory to get that record straight, because the co-author is promoting the misnomer that he's the author of Medicine and the book Medicine, and only wrote a few chapters. I had already practically completed the book, but I still appreciate the fact that brothers out there doing the work and promoting it. But I will be publishing a book titled Medicines, Dietary Sins, which is going to be a really informative consumer book. Whole foods, fake gurus, and the miseducation of the health nut. You'll see that on my website. And of course, the 2019 publication of Stealing a Woman's Treasure, one of the most informative books on female health with full illustrations. You also see that on the website. But again, as you see, all these walnuts that have fallen from the tree, like I said, some are yellow because of the seasonal change. This is October, and I wish I had taken more advantage, but I didn't really have the help to peel the walnut hull, as you still hear them falling. Because when the only catch when you're peeling these, you got to make sure you have on gloves, because if you don't, it will leave like a black ink on your fingers, and it will actually stay on your fingers for a couple weeks sometimes, because it's very, very strong phenols in there, very strong ink. So you make sure if you're peeling that you cut the hull, but you're wearing gloves. And again, it gets you some good quality, 80 proof vodka, you know. And like I say, you have to be self-empowered. We're in the end game, so if you don't know how to grow anything, you better learn. Don't be ashamed or too arrogant to ask questions. If you don't know, say you don't know, and don't be too proud to ask someone that has had bona fide education for help. I've helped many people from the East Coast to the from the West Coast to the East Coast, or vice versa, with many chronic and degenerative challenges, ranging from cancer to autoimmune disease, diabetes, arthritis, attention deficit disorder, prostate inflammation, and so on. But again, I do not claim to be a medical doctor. I'm very well trained, educated, I guess you say self-studied, well-traveled. I've attended over 400 symposiums in the last 28 years, and have been in a very interesting circle of pioneers. Dick Gregory is just one of many. Dr. Lynn Horowitz, Matthias Rath, associates of Bernard Jensen. So yeah, I have a solid background. So for those of you who wish to become more educated and would like to take care because urgent care may not be there, subscribe to my channel. Give me a call. If you want to participate in the Zoom that's going to be launching very soon, or if you want to just acquire the book, which will also be in digital and audio, certainly contact me. And again, great parasite cleanse, Black Walnut Hull. Again, you can add a little cloves to it, wormwood, and get rid of those parasites. For people that are saying that they're healthy, they're really not. They have the illusion that they're healthy, but they're not healthy, because if you were to put your blood and have a live blood cell analysis, you will really see the true characteristics of what's going on in your bloodstream. It's a special microscope that's able to see everything from cholesterol crystals to parasites to ROLU, which most people have because their blood is stagnant and they don't get enough enzymes in their body and don't properly combine food. So, and not to mention, when you're beyond 35, 40 years old, your body tends to produce more fibrin, F-I-B-R-I-N. Fibrin is like a cobweb that collects the blood. So people have blood clotting and blood stagnation because they don't not only keep themselves hydrated, but don't get enough enzymes, particularly systemic enzymes, to break up that blood stasis. Like if you choose to get nattokinase or your serrapeptase, which is very, very good, in addition to L-arginine that helps the blood produces more nitric oxide in the bloodstream, or beets. So again, most people are diseased because they don't have good vascular flow. They have blood stagnation. Their blood is actually diseased, regardless of their weight and height. They can look physically fit. I've known people that were, extremely physically fit and went into diabetic coma. People have had heart attacks. People just had developed cancer, and they were physically fit. So don't judge a book by its cover. We're able to look deep within the bloodstream through a live blood cell analysis or a dark field microscopy. Wow. Oh, did the squirrels do that or what? Oh, there's some nice ones up there. I'll take advantage of that. Grab what I can. But yeah, people, you need to prepare because no one is going to escape what's about to come, because this is Babylon and this is prophecy. This nation, or people that run this nation, have been disobedient to the universal law and certainly disobedient to the Most High and nature. So things have to be cleaned up, and we happen to be in the midst of it. So be wise, be safe, and again, don't be arrogant enough to say, hey, I need help for me and my family, because again, I don't have all the solutions, but I am very knowledgeable and very good at my craft, and I'm still a knowledge seeker. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Come to you at a later time with some more informative information on health and disease. Again, go to my website, check it out. And if you like this video, certainly subscribe. And if you are open to a higher level of intrigue and getting the truth and the facts that's also backed up by a point of reference, that's one thing that I do. I don't just throw anyone into a protocol or tell anyone anything without a point of reference. And if anyone's sharing information or trying to disseminate information and they don't have a point of reference, keep it moving, okay? Because these people that are out there, there are many fake gurus with a capital F, fake gurus that can make all these claims and have never had any bona fide training, bona fide education, nor bona fide mentorship, okay? So be mindful of that. Be mindful of people, of brands that you buy that don't have any efficacy and don't have any quality track record. Okay, even some products in the health food store are mediocre at best. Talk to a professional that has great product knowledge, that has bona fide training, that has been in the industry for a long time, and also has a dispensary that carries professional line formulas that's going to put you on the right track, and that's going to implement a protocol that is tailored for you, that is in harmony with your physical constitution and with your condition that you're challenged with, your blood type. All those are important factors. Don't let anyone generalize your protocol. Supplements are not to be generalized. They're individualized, and they should be implemented to work for you only, not for the general public. As you see people, oh, take sea moss, take black seed, take moringa. That may not be for you. That may not be what your body needs. Yeah, the body lacks vitamins, minerals, trace elements, cofactors, enzymes. That is a fact. But everybody's physical constitution, blood type, lifestyle, stress level, and even level of spirit is totally different. I may suggest that you use Bach flowers. I may suggest you use some form of aromatherapy, enzyme, metabolic therapy. There are different forms of detox out there. You know, there's not a one size fits all, people. You want to be, when you take on a protocol, you want to make sure the practitioner knows what the heck she's talking about, and make sure that they're giving you individualized care that is catered to what your challenge is based on your diet, past diet, your stress level, lifestyle, exposure to different levels of toxicity. If you worked in a toxic environment for years, yeah, more than likely you have various forms of toxicity, metallics in your body. So make sure that practitioner is able to give you a thorough assessment, looking at your tongue, your eyes, and just basically doing the job that they claim that they are capable of doing. And some of them, most practitioners out there, again, these fake gurus are just trying to make a dollar. They're hustling you. They're trying to give you the pimp talk and what they can do, but they're really hustling you, overcharging you, because I've seen people overcharge people for extracts and other products they manufacture when you can get a professionalized product with proven efficacy for, half the cost or maybe even 25% less. So you got to understand, it's a hustle. These people are opportunists, okay? They're not there really to uplift the fallen humanity. They're charging you an enormous amount for information. My consultation starts at $175 on the average. And again, I also offer discounts. And I'm also compassionate to people who have limited income, so I will work with you as well. Not out here trying to get people for their finances. Uh, it's not. It's about helping the people. Okay, so be mindful of the fake gurus who will try to charge you several $100s for an arm and a leg. There's a bona fide medical doctor and a doctor of Oriental medicine. You're going to pay this guy maybe $200, $250 for the consultation, which is fair. But these people that are charging beyond it and they have no bona fide background, be mindful of these so-called gurus. And those, again, for those of you who know or just slightly familiar with my background, you know that I was highly endorsed by one of the greatest icons of the Asiatic people in this nation, the late Baba Dick Gregory. And Dick was no fool. He was extremely knowledgeable. I was very close to this man for 24 to 25 years. It's like a son. And because he saw my work, he saw the results of my work, and that's why he highly endorsed me, and that's why he endorsed the first book, Medicine, and along with the other book that I'm coming out with, the Standard Dietary Sins, which was supposed to have been published in 2018, but when he passed, everything just fell by the wayside with me because we were very close. But yeah, so just be well, be wise, contact me, subscribe, and stay in the mindset of being self-empowered. Peace and be well.